Dear students, hello and welcome to a new lesson in which we are going to learn how to write a letter. This lesson is in Unit 7, which was about celebrations, and this is the last lesson in Unit 7. Now, before we start, we have to talk about a letter. Well, a letter is a piece of writing that we use to communicate with people. And in this lesson, we are going to see the layout or the components of letters and how do we write letters. And we are going to read a letter and figure out its different components or parts and link them to the graph we're going to see before. Now let's move on. A letter consists of 7 parts. Well, the first one is the address and the date. Next, greeting, body, closing statements, sometimes salutation, and signature. Well, the address and the date are very clear, whereas the greeting is the first sentence at the top of the letter before the body, in which you write dear plus the name to whom you are going to send the letter. For example, if you are going to send the letter to me, you have to write dear Youssef. If you are going to write it to your friend Ahmed, you have to write dear Ahmed. The body is the paragraphs or the text or the message that you want to send to someone, which is the biggest part. It could have like 1 paragraph or 2 paragraphs or 3 paragraphs. And each paragraph has an objective or a goal. The closing statement is the last sentence in which you end your letter. It comes after the body and before the signature. Well, the salutation simply is hello or hi or how are you, etc. And the signature is your name. For example, if my name at the end of the letter, I write Youssef, your friend Youssef, or see you soon Youssef, etc. Now, let's see all these components in this letter. Well, the first thing you can see here is Washington DC, USA, December the 20th. Now, Washington DC, USA is the address. December the 20th is the date. They come at the top of the letter. And on the left, here you have Dear Kamal, which is the greeting that we talked about in the last slide. Dear Kamal, Dear Kamal. Kamal is the name of the person to whom you are going to send the letter. After that, we have hello, which is the salutation. And then we have paragraph number 1 and paragraph number 2. Okay? Now, we're going to read these paragraphs and we are going to see what are these paragraphs about. The first paragraph has an objective and the second paragraph has an objective. Now, before we read, I want you to take a moment and guess what is this letter going to be about from this picture. Here we have a picture of a pumpkin which with a face on it. Okay, so it symbolizes to something. Okay, so stop the video or pause the video and think about it for a minute. Now, let's read this letter and see what is it about. The first paragraph is this one. Thank you very much for your letter. I was very happy to learn about some of Morocco's eating habits. And I am very glad to tell you about one of our strange celebrations, Halloween. Now, basically this paragraph, she thanked you for the letter you sent to her before, and she told you this is what I'm going to talk about. Now, the objective of this first paragraph is to thank to whom you are sending a letter for his last letter, if he sent you a letter. The second paragraph. Now, we know what is the second paragraph going to talk about from the first paragraph, because she said, I am very glad to tell you about one of our strange celebrations, Halloween. So, Laura is going to talk to us about, or is going to tell us about Halloween. Okay, so let's read the paragraph. Well, each year, on the last night of October, millions of children across the USA dress up in strange costumes and take to the streets for pleasure and fun. The celebration continues on the following day, November the 1st. This day marks the end of autumn and the beginning of the dark, cold winter. During the celebration, we wear costumes typically consisting of animal heads and skins, and attempt to tell each other's fortunes. When the celebration is over, we set fire to protect ourselves from the coming winter. Well, as you see, this is a superstitious. Are there any celebrations like that in your country? Tell me about one of them. Please give my best wishes to your family. Now, in this paragraph, we noticed that Laura was telling us about Halloween, and she was giving us a lot of information about the place, the time, the traditions, and the customs that they do during this celebration. Okay? And at the end she said, please give my best wishes to your family. And this is the part which we call the closing. Okay? The closing statement. It's the last statement you say before you end your letter. After that, your best friend Laura, this is the signature. Your best friend Laura. Laura, here we write the name of the person who is sending the letter, not the receiver, the sender's name. Now, it's your turn. Write a letter back to Laura and thank her for her last letter. Then tell her about one of Morocco's famous celebrations. Now, here you have to write a letter like this one with the same format, the address, the date, the greeting, salutation, two paragraphs, and closing statement, then your signature. In the first part, you are going to thank her for her last paragraph, for her last letter. Then you are going to tell her about one of Morocco's famous celebrations. You can choose any celebration you want, okay? And don't forget to send me your homework via Facebook, WhatsApp, or any other social media. Thank you so much for paying attention. See you in the next lesson.